the internet has changed so many things today, and that includes interpersonal relationships. There is one film that is screening at this year's Myrtle Beach International Film Festival that really reaches into that purview, I guess, or that milieu, and that is the film is called Smoke, and the director is Scott Pardue, who joins us now. Where did you get the idea for Smoke?
I got it as a new husband and father in grad school. My wife and I had a conversation about pornography, and I decided in grad school at the time to write a 10-minute play. And so I wrote the 10-minute play. That kind of expanded into a full-length play. But as far as moving from live theater into film directing, I kind of wanted to use a short version of that to, as an entry point. So,
tell us a little bit about Smoke. What is it about?
It is about, it's really about a woman confronting her husband's mistress, her husband's fantasy. It's basically her trying to come to terms with the fact that he might be having an affair. But one of the questions is well, do you even consider that an affair?
Right.
Or
when
not?
it's just online, when it's not really a interpersonal, one-on-one, real-life human being kind of affair.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where did you take it? I mean, you've got two really strong female characters here, and the whole film is really just an interplay between these two people. Mm-hmm. Who wins in the end, or isn't there a win or a loss?
No, I think there's definitely a winner, and in this particular case, pornography wins, and the reason why that's the case is because the woman who goes into it, the wife who enters, into this world, doesn't really understand the world itself, and she doesn't understand the power of the world that she's entering into. So, for her to go in, and she comes in with a very naivete, and just a very kind of shallow understanding of what it is that she's contending with. And she comes, the woman that she's actually interacting with is actually very intelligent. She is very sophisticated. She's very incisive.
Different than what she expected, in other words.
Completely different than what she expected, and she just gets steamrolled by her. And I think the important thing about that is I think that a lot of us really underestimate, especially in the internet world, the power of pornography. And one of the lines in there is, Liz, the wife, she's trying to figure out, what this woman's history is. She knows that this woman has a history, mm-hmm. that there's got to be a history in there, but she can't get it out of her. The woman, Smoke, continues to say, hey, I don't have a history. And that's really, when you think about what pornography does, it really convinces us that, hey, you know what, there is no history here.
Yeah. Just live for the moment.
Just live for the moment,
right.
Completely hedonistic, kind of approach, on that. So in this, case, pornography wins, but hopefully, I think that, when we look at the subject of pornography in this film, I hope that the takeaway that most people get is, hey, in terms of the sexuality between a husband and a wife, that's a pretty complex thing. Mm-hmm. In terms of pornography, though, when we're dealing with that, that's a different subject. I feel like we're not talking about a man and a woman in that dynamic. When we talk about pornography, we're talking about a billion-dollar industry, right? That in this day and age really doesn't have a lot of boundaries to it. Yeah. So, and there's a lot of power in that, So,
how is the film being received? What are people saying about it?
I think that the film is challenging, for people. I think that the film doesn't pass any judgments, and hopefully people don't feel like it's a judgmental, piece one way or the other. But when people watch it, I think that it inspires a lot of conversation in terms of a difficult subject matter. So.
What's your next project? What's next for you after Smoke?
The project that I'm working on right now, it's about domestic violence. It's about a woman who is trying to come to terms with. I don't know. It's based on my best friend's sister, who, if you were to meet her, she is beautiful. She is intelligent. She's ambitious. She's rich. She's not anybody that you would ever expect would find herself in a domestic violence situation, but she did, and so the film is about, this next film that I'm working on is about her trying to come to terms with how she got into that difficult situation. So
and how does she get out of it?
And how she gets out of it, and the choices that she makes in order to get herself out of that. So,
well, good luck. Congratulations on Smoke. It's an excellent film. This film is Smoke at this year's Myrtle Beach International Film Festival. The director is Scott Pardue. Thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate it.